Get those arms warm.
De Montréal, Québec, voici les moments marquants du 45e Festival international de jonglerie. From Montreal, Quebec, highlights of the 1992 International Jugglers Association Festival. On the agenda for this 5-day event were the Junior and Senior Juggling Championships and a Cascade of Stars review held this year at the Saint-Denis Theatre in the heart of Montreal. From Berry Square, the games of the IJA, and from the Curry Gym at McGill University, the Numbers Challenge, Club Renegade, workshops, demonstrations, and more. Special guests at the festival were Lottie Broom, who was given the IJA Historical Achievement Award, and Michael Motion, who received the IJA Award of Excellence and was the featured performer at the Cascade of Stars review. Sponsors of this year's events included American Airlines, Eager Travel, les éditions Bushman Limitées, Grand Rapid Printing, and the Toy Crafter.
3, 2, 1, go!
Of special interest this year was the Junior Championships. Excellent work by all of the entries made it a tough call for the judges.
Here we go. Okay, in third place, let's get to it. Anyone see the envelope? Don't yell it out, I get to yell it out. Dans troisième place, Brian Patz. En 12e place. Who knows what that means in English? Super. En 2e place, Ben Tolpin. You can move. En première place, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire, mesdames et messieurs? Super. 1992, IJA Junior Champion, Sean McKinney.
You're unbelievable. But tell me more about mine. I'm always so concerned with the way you say you always have to stop to think first. Being one is more than I ever know. This time I realize I should leave you. The things you say, your price just give you away. The things you say, you're unbelievable. Pushing down the battlefield instead of bringing attitudes to walk the world. And everything you ask to embrace yourself. With grace and peace, I know this world and what it seems. It's unbelievable. You burden me with your questions. You help me tell no lies. You always ask what it's all about. Don't listen to my reply. You say to me I don't talk enough, but when I do, I'm a fool. These times I've spent, I've realized I leave you. The things you say, your heart just give you away. The things you say is what I love you more. The things you say, your heart just give you away. The things you say, you're unbelievable. You're so unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
If you were interested in improving a skill or learning a new one, you were sure to find something of interest among the numerous workshops and demonstrations that were ongoing throughout the week.
Forward land on the floor, so you want to kind of bend forward, keep your head up. So the hat catches your head and lands on it.
Because your wrist is the way to control the club. You can't do much with it if you're throwing like this and horsing it.
Remember that a lot of these tricks do not originate in your hands so much as they originate from your back or from your
into the middle. Make sure that the club goes across so that it lands at about the same angle in your hands. Right. The first one was good. The second one, you just
Right hand. One hand is doing it, and one hand is not. You got it. Both hands come down here. Yeah, mainly your left hand is not.
Take your hands, hold on the front like this. Everybody do this with me. Everybody clap in front. Clap behind your back. And pretend like you're going to catch the scarf. And catch. Let's do it again. Clap in front. Behind. And catch. One more time. Clap in front. Behind. And catch. Take your hands. Put them at your side. And watch me for a little bit.
One question which will probably come up is how quickly, if you're the second person, how quickly do you start? The answer is half a count. Half a count is very short. That's half the time you would normally delay when doing 7 clubs.
Peter Davidson conducted this special workshop on practice and performance techniques.
Obviously, you have lots of routine, and when you rehearse your material, you go through the whole sequence of a show, or you just go over one piece at a time. And if you do, how many times do you do it?
Well, like for instance with Air Does, when we had a huge amount of material, and when it gets to be too much to rehearse at one time in one day, we would generally, like when I put together this hour show, it's kind of hard to do in one day. So I just work on these pieces in this day and these pieces in this day, and kind of work up to doing the whole thing. So I mean, it starts when you're creating a piece, and you have to spend hours and hours on one piece and just maybe a particular part of the piece, and then you get that piece together, and then it turns into running it, turning on the music and running that, and then.
But I mean, once your material's all together, you know exactly what you're doing.
No, I would not generally not, except maybe for a short period of time before a particular performance.
A special guest at this year's festival was Lotte Brun, who was given the IJA Historical Achievement Award.
Lotte Brun.
Thank you very much. This is really an honor to be here and be presented with this award. After 47 years in the business as a juggler, and I'm so amazed tonight to see this show and some of these kids, it's unbelievable. I want to thank the International Juggling Association for thinking enough of me to presenting me with this award. Thank you very much. I'm more nervous now than if I had to do a show. Thank you.
As the many people who are in this room tonight cannot read the interesting certificate which is going to be handed over to Lotte Brun, let me read quickly a few paragraphs. Lottie Brun's father, her inspiration, told her as he watched her practice for hours on end that she would be the greatest. 2 decades later, Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus used the same word in describing the only woman to appear solo in its center ring.
There comes a time you have to quit. And this was hard because it was my whole life. I'm 10 years old. I couldn't wait in the morning to go to rehearse. You know, even when I wasn't working anymore that much, I couldn't wait to go to rehearse, and I loved to rehearse, and I loved to practice, and I went through the act, you know, 2 or 3 times, you know, and it was hard. But once I closed it, that's it. I will donate all my props the way I did my last show, with the balls, my special sticks, my rings, my balls I worked with, to this organization, you know. My last costume too, okay? So I really, and all the prop table, the music, costume, because I really don't want it just to get completely destroyed or lost or something, you know. It doesn't mean nothing to me anymore, because like also the books and things, you know, it should go someplace where people and kids maybe can look at it in the future, you know. I think that is it. When I did my last trick and I came down in the front, you know, I had a big success. Otherwise, I would have never done what I did. I mean, it would have lasted that long. I did my last show, I was 60 years old, you know. I mean, it's a long time for a woman to be out there, you know. And so, I mean, I must have done something right, I think. And I know I did something right. You know why? Because of last night. Of what I got last night. I felt I did something right. Okay? Thank you.
Please, let me say just one more sentence. Because she is among the elite few who have inspired with their greatness and made history with their endurance, the IJA is honored to present Lottie Brun tonight with its Historical Achievement Award, parce qu'elle fait l'élite, elle est parmi les peu nombreux des personnes qui ont inspiré grâce à sa grandeur l'histoire de la jonglerie. L'IJA est très honoré de présenter à Lottie Brun ce soir son prix historique.
Outdoor stage shows and street performing provided ongoing entertainment for the public and served as an outlet for many performers.
À toi!
The Renegades once again set the stage for the midnight shows at Club Renegade.
Many of you may or may not know that the IJA has officially nominated today as Bob Day. Bob! This evening is officially Bob Night. The Bob Fan Club guys are standing at the side of the stage. Please stand up and take a bow. Please join us now in the Bob chant. Bob, 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 Bob. Backwards now. Bob, Bob, Bob. Please welcome to the stage from Pennsylvania, Bob Nickerson.
I wish I were the last man on earth, just to see if all those women were really serious. Cool. I'm going to do juggling in 3D. It's going to be fun. What you have to do is put on these special 3D glasses. You don't wear prescription, do you? Good. These won't impair your vision then. All right. Keep those on. Okay, stand right over there. Right. Face me. Now, you're going to experience visual enhancement like you've never seen before. The audience is going to see a very boring, flat picture. Okay? Are you ready?
In the style of our good friend David Letterman, a top 10 list. What we have for you tonight is, okay, hang on the drum roll, you can do that in a second. Top 10 rejected prop ideas. This is the top 10 ideas that our various prop manufacturers, the Todd Smiths and Brian Dubays of the world, considered but decided to reject. Okay, the drum roll at this point would be just fine. Number 10, silicone unicycle. Number 9, diamond rings. Number 8, the Dan Quayle Diabolo. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, that's spelled D-I-A-B-O-L-O-E. Okay. Throw it up. Number 7, saline juggling balls. That was in case they prohibited the silicone kind. Where are we? Number 6, exploding flower pots. We pushed hard for that one.
Around your knees, you feel the sort of tropical breeze through your hair. Ladies and gentlemen, all around him there are jungle noises.
Number 5, edible cigar boxes.
Yeah.
Number 4, the crystal hat. Number 3, the big silver coffee pot. Number 2, chocolate-coated ping pong balls. And the number 1 rejected prop idea for 1992, Xer scarves. Thank you.
And a sense of pride, renegades of this time and age.
The IJA auction of props and memorabilia was a big success.
Next item is a set of 3 soft clubs donated by the people that make soft clubs. They're exchangeable for color. If you don't like the color of these 3 clubs, you may take them over to the soft club booth and exchange them for 3 colors of your choice. $20 on 3 soft clubs, $25, $30, looking for $30, I forgot $30, $35. Looking for $40 on the soft clubs. Looking for $40. $38. Looking for $38 in the soft.
The Senior Juggling Championships produced more medal winners than ever before, due in part to a new judging procedure that was introduced last year.
I just want to mention that the acts tonight are competing not against each other, but against various standards of juggling excellence as represented by bronze, silver, and gold medals. The judges may choose to award any number of medals at any of these levels, or they may choose to award no such medals. In addition to the medals, the judges will also select an overall champion for each of these events for this year. So, I would like to present the team finalists. At the bronze medal level, we have the Dewdrop Jugglers. the silver medal level, we have Benji Hill and Chuck Gunther. And the judges have selected Benji and Chuck as the 1992 IJA team champions. now on to the individual results. At the bronze medal level, we have Bob Whitcomb.
Welcome aboard the SS Bob. I'm your captain this evening, and we're going to set sail for a tropical island paradise. And on the way as we set sail, it's important that I go over a few safety rules with you. First of all, we're going to demonstrate how the life rings are to be handled. Also at the bronze medal level, Larry V.
She's a fine little girl, the best in the world. Work out. Work out. You know you got it working on me, baby. My girl, I'm always there late. She just laughs, trying to say something to make you wait.
One more bronze medal, France Robert. At the silver medal level, we have Miguel Herrera.
A hat trick, a judge, or a joker? Okay, let's just get on to our next performer. Our next artist is from the Royal St. Andrews Golf Club. It's Danny Mulligan.
Also at the silver medal, Dimitri Morquez. And the judges have selected for the 1992 overall individual champion, Miguel Herrera. Let's have a big hand for him.
This year's numbers challenge was short on entries, but was still a crowd pleaser.
You have to make, if you're doing 7 objects, you have to make 7 catches in every hand. Okay. If you're doing 8 objects, 8 catches in every hand. We're counting catches, not throws. So for teams, every person has to catch 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever it is, the number of objects, at least that many. Okay, does everybody understand what it takes to qualify, number of catches? You guys understand? Okay, so we're going to have a timekeeper who will count a minute, and if you qualified within that minute, you won't hear anything from us unless you want us to tell you how long you have. If you want to know how long you have at any time, just ask us, and we'll let you know. My recommendation is don't rush yourself too much. 5 seconds here or there is gonna make it. Are there any questions? Are there any unusual patterns that we're going to have to look for? You guys are going to do, I know what you guys are going to do.
Let's see what we've done.
So, you guys just got to do a cascade sort of thing with 7, that type of stuff? Okay. All right, well, good luck. And I guess we're ready to start. We'll start with teams.
A little bit more spin. I thought you said very nice. Well, then one went short, and then I was thinking a little bit more. Don't argue with me, Melvin.
Always a popular event for participants and spectators, the games of the IJA.
.25 seconds.
One of the hardest jobs we have today is that being done by our judges, judging all these amazing tricks, keeping their eyes open for the whole 3 minutes. I'd like to have a big round of applause for our judges, Bill Geddes and Jackie Erickson.
In 2 minutes here, we'll have the Bob Jackson
speed club passing competition. A few words about how this event came to be. Perhaps many of you are acquainted with the late Bob Jackson. Our first competitor is Josh Mitsuo Wiener. Big hand for Josh. Good job.
0.58 seconds.
Simple bench, maybe 6, catching Diablo going, pocket in the air, wait about 2 to 5 minutes, and then catch, lots of pocket.
See y'all in Fargo next year. Nice going, guys.
This year's public show, the Cascade of Stars Review, was one of the best ever, featuring an international lineup of some of the best jugglers in the world.
Public show, the Cascade of Stars. Now with a warm welcome for your hosts, Sam Kilborn and Michelle Lozier.
Good evening. I'm Sam Kilborn.
Mon nom est Michel Lauzière. Ça me fait vraiment plaisir de co-animer ce gala de fermeture, ce spectacle ce soir.
It's a great pleasure for me to co-host this show with you this evening. Now, as you can see, we will be interpreting for each other tonight. And just before we begin the show, I would like to just say how exciting it is for all of us to have our first truly international IJA convention.
Yes, I can interpret that for you. I think what Sam is trying to say is that because Montreal is in another country, it makes it more
Translate, in other words, into a foreign language. See, translate, interpret meaning translate.
Ok, el señor tratando de decir es que porque el país no es el mismo, es posible que es más internacional.
Perhaps something more along the lines of français.
Français, ok. Alors finalement, on est vraiment heureux que pour une fois, la convention des jongleurs ait lieu à l'extérieur des États-Unis. Ça devient vraiment plus international. Bienvenue à Montréal. I'm going to leave the first introduction to Mr. Kilborn because he has a speech already prepared and I'm still working on the French translation.
prior to broaching the essentially integral fundamentals of the immediate supersystem, it is implicit in any discursive treatise analytically sublimated, that avertive predilection lends sustaining pertinacity to a concentric integration of dichotomous variables, period. On the other hand, comma, any procrastinatory artifices tending blatantly toward a patent plethora of superfluous verbal effulgence will inimitable obviate the retrogressive divergence of such ulteriorly bombastic fulminations, period, new paragraph. When it reaches to the contrary, however, comma, notwithstanding, comma, it behooves the originator of any such rhetorically redundant, albeit reverberatory ratiocinations, to regularly rule out the effects of reproduction of the rigorously moreover, the promulgation of such work gentlemen, to begin our show, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you the precision entertainment of Clockwork. Ladies and gentlemen, Clockwork.
Next performers are well known around the world. They starred on the Johnny Carson show twice. They were recently seen in a hit movie called The Addams Family, and they were the 1989 IJA Champions in Team. Bienvenue à The Passing Zone.
Hey! Good evening. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. Good evening and welcome.
Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Merci. Nous voudrions faire tout notre spectacle en français, mais malheureusement, nous ne savons pas assez de français pour ça.
Oui.
Mais au moins, nous pouvons nous présenter en français.
Oui.
Okay. Nous nous appelons The Passing Zone et nous sommes sans conteste les plus grands jongleurs des États-Unis.
In English, we are the Passing Zone, 2 jugglers from the United States.
Je m'appelle John Wee. In English, that's my name is John Yes.
My name is Owen Morse, and in French, that's Jacques Cousteau. That's French.
That's the only French name you know.
Shut up. Just keep going.
Ok, je parle français un peu, mais Owen, il apprend ici à Montréal. I speak French a little bit, and Owen, he's been learning while he's been here in Montreal. And we'd like to just share with you a little bit that Owen has learned. We're going to just demonstrate this by, I will ask him questions in English, he will respond in French. Okay, Owen, what is my name?
Oui.
Very good. And who is on stage right now?
Oui.
Perfect. And what do we always do before each performance?
Oui, oui.
Okay, perfect. Very good. Merci.
Merci.
And that concludes the French-speaking portion of our show. Thank you. Nous essayons. Okay. So now, at this time, what I was going to do, I was going to come out here and perform my flashy 6-ring routine. Okay, but whenever I do this, people always ask me the same question. John, how do you keep your skin so smooth and young looking? Yeah, but then after that, they always ask another thing. They say, John, how do you progress from 3 objects to 6 objects? It seems quite complicated.
How do you keep your skin so smooth and young looking?
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But, and we also realize there's a lot of public out here. You've just seen some ring juggling by Dimitri here, and many of the public don't really understand how all of this works, although many of you jugglers do. But so instead of performing my usual flashy little routine for you today, I'm going to take this time to explain and demonstrate how I progress from 3 rings to 6-ring juggling. Owen is going to help me out and be my assistant here, because the rings need to each be tossed in one at a time.
Sure.
Okay, notice I start with the basic 3-ring pattern. Yeah. My throws, as you can see, are going just a little bit above eye level in this nice, slow right-left crossing pattern. Now, there are a bunch of different tricks that I like to work on with 3 rings just to build up my proficiency. These might be like the 2-1 splits, and of course the pirouette, and finger flourishes. These all add to my skill, my dexterity, and it gives me that extra je ne sais quoi. Yeah, you know what that means?
I don't know, what?
That's right, very good. He learns so fast, he really does. So after these tricks, I'm ready to move on to 4-ring juggling. Okay, so now I'm juggling 4 rings. Okay, you're probably picking up on some obvious differences, one of which is there are now more rings, but also notice my throws are peaking at a height of about 25 to 25.5 inches above eye level. 25 to 25.5, good. There we go, okay. Now there is one nice little trick that I do want to show you all with the 4 rings. This is great, where I throw all 4 rings into the air, I spin around, and I keep juggling the 4 rings. This is good.
John, you don't want to show them that one tonight.
Oh, well, I've been working on it. I think they want to see it, don't you? I mean, sure, there you have it. I think it's clear I have to go for it. Thank you. Hey, come on. Thank you.
So now it's time to move on to 5-ring juggling. So here it is, the very difficult transition to 5-ring. Okay. It's the sometimes complicated transition to 5. As you can see, it's a little bit difficult to add the 5th ring to the pattern. So sometimes what I need to do is come up with new and creative ways in which to add the 5th ring. One that I just thought you might like to see would be the head pull transition to 5-ring juggling. It's the head pull transition. 5 rings. Thanks. Thank you very much. No, please. It's too much. It's not necessary. Now notice my throws are going even higher, even faster than before in this very, very complicated 5-ring pattern. There are very few tricks that I can do with 5 rings, but there is one I would like to show you. Please keep an eye on the rings, everyone. Not as smooth as I sometimes do it, but it works. So now it's time to show you 6-ring juggling, okay? I want you all to keep in mind there are very few jugglers besides myself who have the skill and the physique necessary for the 6-ring juggle. Well, except for, of course, every junior the other night, but... Very few jugglers over the age of 12 that can do 6-ring juggling. Very few. Here I go. Up. Okay, no, obviously I just need a little more practice, but what better time than in front of an audience? You're making me look bad. Come on. Work with me. Work with me.
Shut up and juggle.
Okay.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Up.
Oh! Thank you! Thanks so much. 6. Count them. Thank you very much. 6 strings. Thank you, and thanks for helping.
Hey, sure, no problem.
Now, we figured it just wouldn't make sense for us to do a show without a little bit of club passing for you today because we seldom do shows without it. So, just for your entertainment here, we're going to pass 7 clubs back to back. All 7, back to back. All right, no?
Tabernouche.
I don't know what that means, but I have a feeling it won't work in the States. Are you having some problems back there? Come on. All right, we just... Oh. No. Hey. Sorry, I dropped mine. Let's get this over with and get out of here. Up.
Hey! The passing zone!
Thank you very much! Good night! Thanks!
The passing zone, there they are.
Merci, Montréal. Merci.
What a joy to present everybody's favorite juggling family. The youngest member of this family was born just about 1 year ago during the 1991 St. Louis Convention. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the dazzling Mills family.
Davison.
Spectacle. La prochaine jongleuse a étudié avec Michael Motion au high school, elle a commencé ça au cégep. Ça n'existe pas là-bas en tout cas. Et Michael Motion, elle aimerait le remercier pour avoir enseigné, elle appelle ça le mouvement de marche. C'est un truc de jonglerie. Our next guest has studied in high school with Michael Motion, and she'd like to thank him for showing her, teaching her the walk move. Once again, here's Cindy Marvel.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Dance with me, I want my arms about you, the charm about you will carry me through to heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek.
Another special guest this year was Michael Motion, who was given the IJA Award of Excellence and was featured in the Cascade of Stars review.
Just a word of return from Lottie Brun to Michael Motion, and this she told me today. Michael Motion, oh, he's a genius. So let's welcome to the stage someone who, in Lottie Brun's own word, is a genius. Please welcome Mr. Michael Motion.
I don't really know what to say other than I'm sorry my wife and daughter had to come home to bed. My daughter fell asleep earlier, if you can imagine that. during the competition. No. Anyway, I'm very happy to accept the award for my work. I've had one heck of a time trying to make the work, and it's wonderful to serve it and try to perform it on stage and travel and all sorts of things. That's one of the wonderful things about this kind of work, is that I grew up in a small town, and it has enabled me to go a lot of places in the world, and Montreal actually is one of my favorites. I think it's a very special thing to have people within your field enjoy your work and to look at it and see something that they think is special. And I feel that from you, and I appreciate it, and thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much.
Michael Motion. Our special guest, Michael Motion.
Please tell me.